Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to another knife review. Today it's about the Puma Tec full tang Tanto knife, which is this knife right here. We're going to take it out of the sheath and bam, here we go. Big, fat, beefy and kind of heavy in every aspect. Maybe not as heavy as you would expect from the size. And speaking of which, I'm just going to give you the measurements. The blade length is 15.5 centimeters and the handle length is about 12.5, and the complete size is about 29.5 centimeters. So quite a big knife, but therefore it's not as heavy as you might expect. And as I said before, it's full tang construction, so the metal runs all the way down and then leads into a little lanyard hole and another lanyard hole, or a lanyard hole and a little hammer kind of thing, basically. So you can make a lanyard at the end of it. And the spine of the knife is 4 millimeters thick, so like I said, quite beefy, nice knife. And I had it out yesterday, and from the overall appearance, it looks very rugged and solid and everything. So I took it to a tree and chopped with it a little bit, and I was halfway through the tree, which was about, I don't know, this size maybe, so not overall thick, and got the blade out. Don't know if you will be able to see this, maybe with another background. So there's some chipping going on because the steel doesn't seem to be very hard. By the way, this is 420 steel, so don't expect much. And also the heat treatment doesn't seem to be very well or tough. But even with this kind of chips, it still cuts. And it cuts well. Obviously beforehand, cut it a lot better. Probably should have checked that before on video. And the blade is partially serrated. I'd say almost 50-50, maybe 40-60. So you have a little bit more plain edge, especially with this, with the secondary belly, I would say. So you have a lot of blade edge on here. And what I also found out, especially with the weight and the tip design, that it is very good in piercing. I'm going to give you an overview of that in the outdoor material. Well, the plain edge is very sharp. The serrations, I'm not quite sure. I don't know how to do a cutting test with serrations, to be honest with you. Maybe something like this. So they cut. It's okay. It's not super clean or anything, but I'm not a big fan of serrations anyway, so I'm just using the plain edge. Like I said, cool knife from the viewing point, but it's not very practical. You can't carry it anywhere, it's too long for that. You can't hide it anywhere if you're carrying it with the sheath. And like I said, it's not as solid as it looks, so this is more of a collector's piece, or a wall hanger, basically, a big wall hanger. The price for this, the official price, I think, is about 40 euros. I got this off of eBay for 10 euro, and yeah, that's basically the knife. By the way, the handle scales are made from G10. They look very aggressive. Okay, I would consider wearing gloves. and also choking up on the knife that you get the maximum of leverage, because as I said, it is not as heavy as you might think. Well, like I said, the performance is mid-range, but one thing I really like about it is the very sharp spine on this part of the blade. Where it starts to taper, you don't have the 90 degrees, but where it's flat, you have them. And that's very cool because it's super at throwing sparks of a fire steel. And this is a budget fire steel, so for €1 I got this from eBay. So that's very cool, very impressive though. One thing that's not very impressive is the sheath. Very basic, very hard nylon that they used. Most of the stitching is only single stitched, so I don't expect this to last very long. They also give you a little pouch on the front. There's nothing in there. Could put a sharpening stone in there, fire steel, something like this. And this is made from synthetic leather, and also looks kind of cheap, especially this part here. Looks like if it was glued in or so. And if you put the knife in, it doesn't hold it. So if I rattle a little bit, this comes right out. And the only thing really securing it is this Velcro strap, which in my opinion is a little bit short, if you can see this. So there's a lot more space for an overlap. I mean, by now it is secure. It rattles still a little bit, as you might can hear, but it's not dramatically. So, well, very basic sheath, and the money you pay for it is for the knife only, I would say. If they would have used some quality steel on this, this would be a lot better knife, and it also would be fine for me if it was plain edge only. Okay, now I'm going to take you outdoors and show you some footage. Okay people, now we are outdoors testing the Puma Tec Tanto full tang knife, and I don't know how good the audio is gonna hold up because it's very windy today, but yeah, anyways, here it is. And as you can see, it sits pretty damn good in the wood, and that's what I meant. It's very good at penetration. So get this out here, about that much. Again, pretty cool. And this is a very powerful point, so I don't think this is gonna break very soon. And also from the weight and leverage, it has some chopping potential. Okay, adjust this a little bit. And let's see. Okay, it's pretty deep. Bites the wood very good. And also bites into the log. Okay, and speaking of which, I brought this to show you how this can be done. Sits very good. The serrations are almost invisible, so this is really sharp knife. Very cool. Serrations are a little bit stuck in this little nut. Okay, there we go. As you can see, there was a very big nut inside there. Now I have to shout into the microphone to keep up the volume. So if this knife had an overall plain edge, the performance would be a little better. So now on to the shopping. Okay, now after we've done the rough work, we continue with the fine. So I'm going to show you how sharp all these serrations are. Oh. Okay, this was my tripod. Okay, so the serrations are not super sharp, but they are reasonably sharp. Okay, I should have grabbed a better stick for this. Sorry for my misconception. It's a little long. Okay, and by now most of the sharpness that it had when it arrived is gone. So I really have to push hard in order to get these materials carved off. And this is birch, so it's not terribly hard or anything. But we are lucky because I brought my Lansky Blade-Matic with me today, so we can hopefully resharpen this blade pretty fast. I'm gonna start off by using the diamond tapered rod, which is equivalent to a 200 grit sandpaper basically. And before we start, I don't know if you can see this, but there are a few little nicks in here. Almost looks like a wave grind. Someone did this on purpose, and some rolling. There's still a little bit of sharpness on there, but it's not. Okay, by now there's a pretty good edge on there, which in fact feels sharper than the factory side that we haven't used, at least not much other than for stabbing it. And also the nicks that were in there are gone, so pretty good job for this Lansky Blade-Matic. And I'm going to switch over to the 1000 ceramic just to give it a quick finish. Okay, it's not hair shaving sharp, like I said, but it's pretty sharp. And by now you can also see that the finish starts wearing off, and it looks like it was only spray painted on there, so no powder coating or anything, at least not a thick one. Okay, you can rub this still off, but
like I said, it starts wearing. So I would say for a 40-buck knife, it's okay if you know that you only get a 420 steel, which is not terribly hard. So this is not an outdoors knife or anything. This is more of a collector's piece, and well, whatever you can use it for. I wouldn't recommend it for hard use, like I said, also because of the very aggressive handle design that bites your hand if you use it. I'm just going to test this a little further, but hey, now that I've sharpened it, let's see how it carves now, because I can tell you a lot the days long. Okay, by now it cuts good. I always wish for a forward finger trial when I'm using this. I sometimes find my hand slipping up on here and then pressing, which is not super comfortable with this blunt serration right here. So always keep in mind that there are serrations, but you can actually choke up a little bit and use this finger guard to assist you a little bit. And with a plain edge, this would be a better knife. Okay, but that's just my personal preference. I don't like serrations so much. There are obviously people out there that do, and I hope that the camera gets it. This is the article number from Puma Tec if you want to purchase one of these, and I'm going to put the number down in the video description so you all can see it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.